Good evening, this is KiniNews and I'm your host Prasad. It's been days since we all voted and look, even the ink is starting to fade. But the search for a new Prime Minister is still on. The deadline given by the Agong has passed and no coalition leader could prove they have the numbers. Tomorrow the Agong will grant an audience to each of the 30 BN MPs at Istana Negara. Pakatan Harapan chairperson Anwar Ibrahim and Perikatan National chief Muhyiddin Yassin have been racing to capture Putrajaya since the election concluded on Saturday, with both claiming to have a majority. The young di-Pertuan Agong summoned both leaders to meet at the palace at 4:30 p.m. today. His Majesty said checks done by the palace found that no Prime Minister candidate has a majority in the Dewan Rakyat. Speaking to reporters after the audience with the King, Anwar said the search for a new Prime Minister is still on.
And I of course expressed this gratitude to signers and said we'll do our best and would digest the advice and would wait for the final decision, which is of course the discretion of the young di-Pertuan Agong.
Anwar said the young di-Pertuan Agong hasn't made a decision today but remains confident that he will secure a simple majority eventually.
For now, there is no question about forming a minority government. Okay?
Is there a timeline? Both him and Muhyiddin have to work to try to form a majority.
Because
And Muhyiddin's in the same situation.
Discussion of the Agong, and I've said that I will give God him the full respect and the discussion, and would seek his advice and accept decision.
Several news organizations reported that Malaysia has a new Prime Minister, only to either remove those articles or social media posts later. None of them quoted their sources. When asked if he was the interim Prime Minister, Anwar said there was no result thus far.
Sekarang ni ada kekosongan jawatan dan terbuka untuk permohonan.
Datuk Sri, tadi yang Tuan Agong kata bahawa itu adalah kerajaan.
And the point when the Prime Minister said no, but it's open for application.
Adakah akan ada
Any sense when it will be decided? Did he give to the
No,
king?
there's no decision.
Before his audience with Anwar and Muhyiddin, His Majesty spoke to reporters outside the palace where he urged all to remain patient. The young di-Pertuan Agong has called on all quarters to respect the voters' decision. His Majesty, who was returning to the palace after a quick outing this afternoon, said he has not had a chance to see if any side has proved they have a majority.
Sumpah tak sumpah?
Kalau lagi tengok ni. Saya baru masuk, baru balik ni nak tengok siapa ada majority.
Tuan
Ya?
pasti hari ni ke?
Mudah-mudahan, insyaAllah.
Hari ni ke akan tuan?
Saya tak boleh nak kata. I cannot reveal anything because I've not seen anything yet. Kena sabar, terima keputusan rakyat, terima keputusan wakil-wakil rakyat dan terima keputusan yang Tuan Agong.
The monarch also said he can't assure if there will be a swearing-in ceremony today. When asked if he would call MPs one by one, the king pointed back at the reporter with a smile but did not answer. He then asked if the media had food and drinks, to which they responded positively.
Soalnya saya di sini nak tahu dapat makanan tak?
Alhamdulillah.
Dia bila air tak? Ada. Ada tempat semayang tak? Ada. Alhamdulillah. Okay, are you enjoying the World Cup match? Dah tengok apa? Ya.
Argentina tuanku. Datuk Seri Anwar tuanku.
Okay, terima kasih ya.
Masih lagi.
After a meeting this morning, BN decided to remain with the opposition. However, following the latest development this evening, BN leaders are expected to meet again before their lawmakers meet the king. UMNO Vice President Ismail Sabri Yaakob has confirmed that BN will not beg any other coalition to form a government. He tweeted that the BN Supreme Council has decided that the coalition should remain with the opposition. Without support from BN's 30 MPs, neither Pakatan Harapan nor Perikatan Nasional can form a simple majority. Rogue MPs who are believed to have aligned with PN are also in favour of BN remaining neutral now. GPS, which backed Perikatan Nasional yesterday, has left the matter of appointing a Prime Minister to the young di-Pertuan Agong. All 30 MPs present at the BN Supreme Council meeting today did not sign any statutory declarations to show support for any collaboration with other coalitions. Meanwhile, Jelebu MP Jalaluddin Alias said the decision was made during the meeting, which went smoothly, and all 30 MPs acted in solidarity. Meanwhile, UMNO number 2, Hassan, said Harapan should work with Perikatan Nasional as BN wishes to accept the Rakyat's decision in GE15. UMNO Deputy President Muhammad Hassan has suggested that Pakatan Harapan form a government with Perikatan Nasional, as both the coalitions have a higher number of seats compared to BN. Speaking on Facebook, he said BN accepted the Rakyat's decision to reject the coalition. This means BN does not have the power to form the government. He added that BN is ready to be an opposition responsible to check and balance the new government. However, he said if their help is needed in the transition period, BN is ready to contribute to an open and sincere discussion. Sabah BN Chief Bung Mokhtaradin agreed, saying on his Facebook account that better for PN and Harapan to set up their own government. Top BN leaders held a meeting at the UMNO headquarters in Kuala Lumpur this morning. Meanwhile, a short distance away in Bukit Damansara, top Perikatan Nasional leaders converged at Muhyiddin Yassin's house. Earlier today, Perikatan Nasional submitted another SD backing Muhyiddin as Prime Minister. However, the identity of the MP has not been revealed. Perikatan Nasional has received a statutory declaration from another MP backing the coalition's chairperson, Muhyiddin Yassin, as the Prime Minister. PN Secretary General Hamzah Zainuddin said in a statement that the SD has been delivered to Istana Negara this morning. However, the statement does not give the name of the MP. The country has been locked in an impasse over forming the government after GE15. Pakatan Harapan chairperson Anwar Ibrahim and Muhyiddin claim to have a majority to capture Putrajaya. The young di-Pertuan Agong has extended coalition leaders until 2 p.m. on Tuesday to prove their claims. Following G15, there has been a worrying trend on TikTok and other social media platforms. It's so concerning that even the IGP has warned against it. Pakatan Harapan chairperson Anwar Ibrahim is concerned over the fanning of racial sentiments and rhetoric following G15. He blamed it on desperate and interested groups. In a statement this morning, Anwar said the work and efforts in forming a responsible and stable government should not be disturbed because Malays, Chinese, Indians, Orang Asli and the natives of Sabah and Sarawak are brothers. He also said they are the people of Malaysia who love peace. Anwar said he supports an earlier statement made by Inspector General of Police Akril Sani Abdullah Sani, who warned social media users not to misuse their platforms to spread provocative content that could lead to public unrest. Akril Sani noted that since the results of G15 were announced, police have found a number of social media users who uploaded content that touched upon racial and religious sentiment. Malaysia Kini earlier reported that several posts warning about a possible repeat of the deadly May 13, 1969 race riots have been found on TikTok in the past 48 hours after polling day on Saturday. We may all be busy with who is going to be the next Prime Minister, but let's not forget about the ongoing OneMDB trial against Najib. The Kuala Lumpur High Court heard today that fugitive Joe Low threatened the EDGE chairperson Tong Kui Ong over the Business Daily's investigative reporting into the OneMDB scandal. Tong, the 43rd prosecution witness, testified this during the 2.28 billion ringgit OneMDB corruption trial against Najib Abdul Razak this afternoon. During re-examination by lead Deputy Public Prosecutor Gopal Sriram, Tong said Low conveyed the threat during a second meeting both men had in 2014. Sriram had asked Tong whether he then knew or suspected Najib of having ties with Low, to which Tong said he and the EDGE already knew then during the publication's various investigative articles. He said after the EDGE started writing the articles in 2014, Jolo contacted him and saw him twice. Tong added that Jolo's father, Larry Low, was a person he knew since the 1990s. He said Jolo told him in the first meeting between the two where the EDGE was wrong and that Low had nothing to do with OneMDB. He also said in the second meeting, Low said he knows Najib and the EDGE should be careful about what they wrote. The witness explained that Low's words conveyed a statement threatening the EDGE to stop writing further investigative articles on OneMDB. The trial before Judge Colin Lawrence Soquera will resume tomorrow. Najib is facing 4 counts of abuse of power and 21 counts of money laundering involving 2.28 billion ringgit from OneMDB. Before we go, a special thanks to more than 100 of you who have contributed to KiniTV during G15 to support our work. We will display the names of our donors on our crawler right there starting today for a week as a sign of our gratitude. We would also like to specially mention Alpha Thun for being our top donor. Thank you for supporting us so we can keep those in power in check. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.